FBI Director James Comey is sending a strong message on Twitter. The longtime Republican urging Americans to vote for Democrats in the midterm elections. Meanwhile, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team wants a federal judge to grant immunity to 5 witnesses who might testify in the trial for former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Let's talk about all of this with Alan Dershowitz. He's the author of the new book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump. He's also a Harvard Law professor. Alan Dershowitz, thank you for joining us, and thanks for coming back on the program this morning.
Thank you.
First of all, Mueller is seeking immunity, secrecy for 5 witnesses in this Paul Manafort trial. What's that all about?
Well, first of all, this whole Manafort case demonstrates that there was never a need for a special counsel. You know, Manafort has been indicted for matters unrelated to the Russia probe, tax, bank issues. Any U.S. attorney anywhere in the country could have done this and could have been granting immunity. The difference is that a normal U.S. attorney wouldn't grant so much immunity for such a small fry defendant. It really shows that what's going on here is they're targeting the president, they're targeting the people around him, they're using Manafort. As Judge Estes Ellis found, they're trying not only to make him sing, they're trying to make him compose possibly, and they're putting all the pressure they can on him. He's a means toward the end, and that's just not the way justice should operate. Civil libertarians have long been opposed to that method of squeezing witnesses, indicting them for kind of unrelated crimes, and then trying to get them to testify against more important people. As I used to teach my first-year criminal law students, if you're going to commit a crime in America, always commit a crime with someone more important than you are so you can flip on them and they can't flip on you. That's what's going on here. Always
learn something with having you on the program. Professor, can you also just tell us what are the actions here on the part of the government? What does this tell us about where this is going? Mueller's seeking immunity of these 5 people.
Well, a special counsel has to produce results. Unlike a normal U.S. attorney, if a normal U.S. attorney investigates a case and there's nothing there, it just goes away. But if a special counsel is appointed and he's given tens of millions of dollars and a large staff and comes up with nothing, he's failed. So he has to come up with something. So he's searching and trying to get low-hanging fruit like Manafort and using all the power of the office to make sure they can squeeze him so perhaps he can testify against someone more important. If Manafort doesn't testify, he'll go to jail, and he'll go to jail for something he never would have gone to jail for had there not been a special counsel. And if he does testify, we'll have to wait and see what he says and whether he has anything on anybody more important. The fear is not only will he sing, but he might compose. That is, he might make things up or exaggerate, because we know that witnesses like this understand that the better the story, the better the deal, so they sometimes try to improve their stories and go beyond the bare truth.
We'll be watching that. Meanwhile, I've got to ask you about the former FBI director, James Comey, saying vote for Democrats in the fall. He tweeted this out. This Republican Congress has proven incapable of fulfilling the founders' design that ambition must counteract ambition. All who believe in this country's values must vote for Democrats this fall. Policy differences don't matter right now. History has its eyes on us. What did you think when you saw that?
Well, Comey's a private citizen now, and as a private citizen, he's entitled to vote for and urge other people to vote for anybody. But it really discloses something important. People in defense of Comey and Mueller and Rosenstein all say, well, they're all Republicans. They're all Republicans. But it is centrist Republicans that hate Trump the most. And a lot of the effort to try to get Trump has been done by Republicans, or in Mueller's case, ex-Republicans. So don't let anybody be fooled by the notion that just because these are Republicans, it doesn't show that it's a fair process. You have to judge for yourself whether it's a fair process. But the fact that Republicans are behind it, Republicans like Mueller, who quickly switched to become Democrats, demonstrates that this is not about whether or not it's a Republican who's going after him or a Democrat. You have to judge the process by its inherent fairness. And for me, there have been a lot of unfair aspects of this process. And as a civil libertarian, I'm going to continue to talk about that.
It was back in May of 2017 that Comey said that he was leaving the Republican Party because of the president. And he said the Republican Party has left me and many others. I just think they've lost their way, and I can't be associated with it. Professor Alan Dershowitz, always great to have you on. Thank you for coming back on this morning. We'll see you again soon.